Welcome back to the Red Sox Time Machine, the podcast where we hop in the DeLorean, crank it to 88 miles an hour, and relive the last 6 decades of Boston baseball history. Today, we're going deep into one of the most sacred years in franchise lore, 2004. Originally, I was going to do my top 5 Red Sox free agent signings of all time. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized if we're talking about free agents, then we need to identify the free agents that had the most impact on the 2014, the one that finally broke the 86-year curse. And then my thinking evolved a bit more. And I thought we can't limit it to just free agents. We got to change it to the key acquisitions. So we'll include trades, signings, whatever it took to build the idiots who stunned the Yankees and swept the Cardinals. So that's what we're doing today. The 5 most important acquisitions that made the 2004 Red Sox world champions what they were. Let's count them down from 5 to 1. Buckle up.
Number 5.
Keith Foulke. Foulke was the closer who put the final nail in the curse's coffin. In December of 2003, we signed Foulke, who had previously closed for Oakland, after the heartbreak of Grady leaving Pedro in a 2003 playoff game for one too many batters. We needed someone with ice in his veins so that a manager wouldn't be tempted to leave Pedro in the game. And boy, did we get it. In the regular season, Foulke had 32 saves, calm as a monk. But in October, lights out. He pitched 14 postseason innings, had 19 strikeouts, and listen to the ERA, 0.64. And the moment we'll never forget, Game 4, World Series, Edgar Rentarek at the plate, and he taps one back to Foulke. Foulke fields it, runs toward Mankiewicz at first base, tosses the ball to him, and it's over. 86 years of Babe Ruth ghosts and Bill Buckner nightmares, all gone. The funny thing is, Foulke looked like an accountant, but he was tougher than a $2 steak. Without him slamming the door, who knows if we hold all those leads. He's my solid number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Pedro. Yeah, Pedro was already here by 2004, but his arrival as a free agent in 1997 changed everything. He was the spark that made us believe we could compete again. In 2004, Pedro still had the most electric arm in baseball. He had a 16-9 regular season record, but in the second half, he pitched to a 2.35 ERA. And in the playoffs, he guts out wins in Game 3 of the ALCS and Game 3 of the World Series. If Pedro didn't sign here in 1997, maybe there is no foundation for 2004 at all. He is legend.
Number 3.
Manny Ramirez comes in at number 3. Big splash, December 2000. He signed an 8-year, $160 million contract, which at the time was the richest deal in baseball. People screamed that we overpaid, but Manny just hit bombs and did Manny things. Look at what he did in 2004. In the regular season, he hit 308 with 43 homers and 130 RBIs. And in the postseason, he cranked it up even more. He hit 385 in the ALCS. Sure, he'll disappear into the green moss or use the facilities mid-inning. But when the lights were brightest, he delivered. Without that big signing, maybe the whole 2004 vibe never happens. Manny being Manny, more like Manny being the World Series MVP.
Number 2.
Curt Schilling is my number 2. The acquisition of Schilling completed the rotation. Theo Epstein visited Schilling over Thanksgiving of 2003. We ended up sending a bunch of prospects to Arizona who basically demanded to come to Boston to end the curse and earn a ring. He went 21-6 in the regular season and then the playoffs. It was legendary. The bloody sock in game 6 of the ALCS, the torn tendon sheath. But he shut down the Yankees when we were one loss from elimination, and he followed it up with a masterpiece in game 2 of the World Series. Schilling talked a big game. He still does, but he backed it up when it mattered most. That trade was the we're all in move. No Schilling, no bloody sock, no comeback from down 3 games to none.
Number 1.
You all know who's coming next. There is no other guy who could be number 1 on this list. David Ortiz, Big Papi, the greatest signing and the greatest bargain in Red Sox history. Ortiz was released by the Twins, and we signed him in January 2003 for peanuts. Thank you, Minnesota. And he didn't establish himself as the full-time DH until midway through the 2003 season. And in the 2004 regular season, Ortiz hit .301 with 41 homers and 139 RBIs. And in the playoffs, he was the ALCS MVP. He had a walk-off homer in game 4 against the Yankees, a walk-off single in game 5. And without those, we're all golfing in October. Ortiz wasn't just clutch. He was the heart and soul of the team, the smile, the leadership, the energy. He was the Red Sox. He carried that team on his back and turned Fenway into a house of horrors for everybody who visited. And the Papi Manny slots in the lineup, they impose fear for every imposing picture. So there you have it. The 5 acquisitions that built the idiots, broke the curse, and gave us the greatest comeback in sports history. Foulke, Pedro, Manny, Schilling, and the king of them all, Big Papi. And sure, we can give honorable mention to guys like Johnny Damon. He wasn't unimportant. He had a grand slam. J.D. Drew, he had a big homer. And guys that impacted other years like J.D. Martinez, Alex Bregman, David Price, Bill Mueller, Kevin Millar, Adrian Beltre, and Chris Sale. But for the guys that impacted 2004 and the years beyond, I think my 5 were the guys the Red Sox leaned on to change the culture into a winning culture that carried the Red Sox through the championship season of 2018. That's it. That's the 4th episode of the Red Sox Time Machine. We'll see you next time.